The pillow is for my butt. Okay. Let me get a couple things going here while you guys are coming on in. What I'm going to do. Gotta set up my super high-tech microphone stand over here, which is, if you watch this for a while, as you know, it's a pile of books on a candle, because that's how it works for right now. And it's quite all right, baby, because we got plenty to do. Okay. So I've decided I'm going to do a podcast today. So let me put some things together here. Whoa, I didn't do that. All right. What are we doing here? Tap two. Let's see. I don't know exactly what title I'm going to use for this one today, but I'm going to explore. So we'll figure out. Hey, Luigi, what's going on? Quinn, Edgar, what's happening? Good to see you guys here. Thank you for coming over. What is the... man, I got sore, man. I worked out yesterday, and I'm like, I think I pulled something. I will clear it out. I will clear it out. I will clear it out. It's going away. It's going away. It's going away. It's going away. Ooh. Okay. All right. Okay, and all right, cool. Working it out while I chat with you. Okay, gonna have some good things to talk about today. So, how is everybody today? Saying, yeah, better podcast than Tom Green. Well, great. I'm glad. But Tom Green, that was just like, I remember him having podcasts like years ago. I mean, like, not a podcast, but it shows, funky, weird shows on like MTV. That Tom Green? A long time ago. Well, I have a funny feeling I'm a little more trained than him. A lot of people that podcast, they don't say a damn thing. I try to be helpful and coaching and educational and inspirational and give you actual information that you can use. That's the key. So, and a cup of coffee. Well, there you go. Let's pop open my Audacity here so I can do my full-on podcast in short order. Yeah, we got that, and everything's looking good. And let's check on the levels here. So I'm talking things and saying words about my podcast, and here we are. So blah, 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 blah. Yeah, perfect. Looks like the levels are fantastic. So you just ate lunch already. Well, good for you. As soon as I'm done here, I've got a BLT waiting for me, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm doing it. So anyway, went to look at another apartment today, and damn shame because it was on the 7th floor, 1 block away from the beach. So I mean, perfect view, perfect. It's just like, it'd be nice if it were like 15th floor. It'd be even better. But I mean, you could see the shore and the waves coming in. You could hear them and everything. And it's kind of like right in the heart. There's like one little one-way street that goes like right across World's Gym where I go, I'm there almost every day. So, and it's just this really small little area that's like the heart of everything. And it was right there. But the unit itself was old, worn, and kind of small. It's like, nah. I mean, these are nice. This is nice. So we're gonna stay here in this area. So we're looking at a couple apartments tomorrow. So no, we didn't find the apartment yet. I only looked at one, and I'm reaching out every day to talk to realtors and say, hey, what do you got? What do you got? Because as soon as we find the one that we want and we can make it work, then we'll we'll move, and we will. We'll manifest exactly what we want. I think what we're doing is we're manifesting a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, higher up with a nice view, and we're going to see one tomorrow, but it's on the 39th floor. I mean, that's like way up at the top. So we're kind of like, I don't know, is it going to be scary being so high? Because ew. But we'll see. Always see which we did. Okay, that is your thing, baby. And it's a good thing. I ain't saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. So yeah, that's what we did. So we looked today. Yeah, it's just a shame. Got a nice little wraparound patio out there. Such a good view. But see, I want the ocean view. And the interesting thing here is, so the ocean view is facing east. So sun comes up, really nice. Wake up and get up early because Declan's up around 6 anyway, 6:37. And so we get up, and we like to get up and get going, because by the time I'm done with my podcast, my day is pretty much done for the most part, because we've been working since 7 or 8. So we were just out, go, get things done. And then we can relax a little bit. I say relax. We've got plenty of other things we're doing, but Kim goes from full bore from in the morning, and I take care of Declan and do what I can get done while I'm working with him. And so, a lot of times that keeps me pretty busy with him, but, oh man. So our afternoons, we try to keep open. Well, tomorrow is good because tomorrow we take Declan to class. So tomorrow I'm going to do my Reluctant Heroes training sometime. Let's see. Well, she's pretty busy. Because when she's in here, I got to be elsewhere to do my thing. So I can do my training pretty much anywhere. So I'll probably do my training tomorrow at 9:30. Oh, wait, she'll be in there, so I can do my training at 10. Perfecto. That's what I'll do. I'll do it tomorrow at 10. So she'll be doing her Pilates in there, and I can be talking to you. Cool. I think that'll work. So if you guys were in the Reluctant Heroes journey, you know what I'm talking about. But you're not in yet, and I'm opening it up again in November. So there will be more slots open, and then you can get in. So I highly recommend that you do just that, because it's awesome. And anybody that pops on here that is in the group will tell you that for themselves. So, but yeah, so there's a training I'm going to do tomorrow with them inside the group. So that's going to be cool. I'm just kind of looking over here. What are these buttons on here? There's so many things on my computer screen. I have no idea what it is. And I'm just like, what is this button? What does that do? And then I hit it, and I can never get back to my screen. I'm like, what did I just do? So, but that's me. Because I'm old school, y'all. I'm old school. I'm learning a lot. I'm just not, the best at this stuff. Let's see. Whatever. All right. So, I wonder what title I should work with. Carl references Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Yes. I remember about years ago, I hung out with Dana Schneider. I think it was in Florida, and he was Master Shake. And I hung out with him and Frylock back many years ago. It's funny because Frylock, I think, only did like that one voice and like nothing else. Hey, Ashley, what's happening? Which is, I'm going to be doing a podcast today. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of freestyle it, which I always do, but I don't really have any set notes on this one. I just want to talk about it. It's like, what are you settling for in your life, and why, and what we can do to fix that and change and reframe it. I'm just going to go off and see what happens. So I don't really know what the title's going to be, but it really is going to be, hey, what are you settling for? So that's something we're going to talk about today. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. In about 5 minutes, we'll get started. Frylock at the Frydar. All right. So Oh, I'm just gonna stretch a little bit. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. My shoulder rotator cuffs or whatever. I'm gonna do some. I need to do some conscious healing work. Get that fixed. Because I know plenty of it's in my mind. I'm dealing with a couple of other things that have been very, very tension-ish in my life recently. But one big thing just got heaped right off my back. But there's the cleanup of everything. It's going to be a couple weeks or more for that. But once that's all done, it's done. I'm free of that, and then I can keep my attention going where it's going right now, which is serving and helping people with their relationships, communication, connection, um, dating, etc. That's going to be next because I'm doing my master class is coming up on the 16th. I will open registration for that very soon once I figure out the tech on how to actually do that and get people signed up for that. I'd love if you guys are interested. It's free. It's online. If you're in a relationship or you know somebody that has a marriage and wants to strengthen it during this pandemic, which is very, very tough on marriages, I would love to get some people signed up and working with me on that. Let me see where I have the page, because I know I have the page lined up, but I don't have the whole system set. So which means if I give you the page, I don't know if I have the follow up and all that. So the masterclass landing page right here is masterclass. How to save marriage during a pandemic. Let's try. Let's see. That's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. But that can work. Let's see. Masterclass landing page. Masterclass. Here we go. Let me see. All right. So anyway, I'll deal with that later. Do I like Street Fighter? Nope. Never played it. I think I played it maybe like once or twice when I was young. Not my thing. I don't like the fighting games. They've never been my thing. I like the shooting games. As a matter of fact, we just went for our anniversary. We spent the day roaming around and drinking champagne at different places. And we went to a place called Time Zone, which was a big arcade. And I played a lot of shooting games. And got on the bumper cars with Decky and we bump, 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 bump. That was a lot of fun. But the shooting games like the House of the Undead, that's one that I've always played. I've always enjoyed that one. Time Crisis, pretty good. Enjoyed that. And what was the other one? Whatever there is. I loved like the Terminator. That was good, but they didn't have that one there. And what else? I always enjoyed the Star Wars stuff. They had a big Star Wars one. People were always in it, so I couldn't, get in there and do anything with it. What else? What else was there? I don't remember. But I do like the shooting games. No, Decky didn't. GoldenEye on N64. I don't have games. The only thing I had was a PlayStation 1. And I gave that up a year and a half ago. That's it. Never had any other game. Well, I had Odyssey and had a Nintendo for a little while, like the original Nintendo with like Mario Brothers. So, see, I don't play video games because if I did, I would never leave the house because I love playing video games. I really do. But, play on Now You See It. Hey, David Ospina, how did you get that? Was weird. Huh. It plugged you in above other people. So what character did Spike Spencer play on Now You See It? I was Paul. I got to work with Frank Langella for 5 weeks. I was his right-hand man. So I was the mentor to Allison Mishalka and the other kid who was working the camera. I was their mentor, and then I turned out to be the bad guy. Guess what? I'm the bad guy. What? So I like my PS1. I played it very often. I played Descent. That was my game. Descent, and of course Crash Bandicoot. Man, Crash Bandicoot. Loved Crash Bandicoot. All right, guys. Well, it's time for me to start my podcast here. So I'm putting my little note here. So I can't chat with you till I am done in about 30 minutes. Boom. There we go. All right. So you guys that are here, if anybody pops on and says, "What's going on, man? Why isn't he talking to us?" Well, that's why. Because I can't. And you guys know because you've been here before. All right, let's do this thing. Welcome to the Mind Scrambler podcast. I am Spike Spencer, your host with the most. And today we are going to talk about why are you settling? What are you settling for? What's the deal, yo? Talk to me, Goose. Let's figure it out. So let's jump right in and say, what is the deal with settling? Well, most people have a certain level in their life that for some reason, that's where they feel they belong, and their subconscious keeps them at that certain level. And maybe it's self-esteem issues, maybe it's upbringing, it could be anything, but it seems like you're stuck there. It's like a ceiling. And a lot of you guys will understand this because I had the ceiling where I would go to a certain level of income, and then I would get there and something would happen. If I went past that level of income, I would sabotage myself. People do that. Let's say you want to be like super wealthy and have all kinds of money, but you've never made more than $30,000 a year. You've got a substantial ceiling that you have to break through. So what are you settling for? Are you settling for the fact that that's as good as it gets? Are you settling for things that you don't really truly want because you don't believe you're worthy of them? I mean, what is it that you are settling for? Think about it. Look around in your life right now, because everything that you have in your life, you have because of you. You, that's right. You have everything in your life because of you. Do you have everything in your life that you want? I'm willing to bet that you probably said no, because I would say that. Now, do I have amazing things that I am grateful for, stunningly grateful for? Absolutely, and I work on it every day. I'm so grateful for my amazing wife. I'm so grateful for my amazing little boy. I'm so grateful for the fact that we're in freaking Australia. Yes, we are still in Australia. It is, and we are going to be for a while, by the way. So when I record this, it's October 6th here in Australia, 2020, during the crazy pandemic, which has not bothered us over here in this part of Australia almost at all. And it's pretty amazing. We did not settle for going back home. Think about that for a second. We could have gone back home and been in the thick of it with everybody else and bitching and moaning and in fear and all kinds of negative stuff. We made the decision we weren't going to settle for that. We said, nope, we're doing something different. And we're here and we're building our memberships. We're building our coaching practice. I'm doing voiceover. I've got another voiceover video game this weekend. I'm working. It's just like I'm back at home because technology allows all of this to work. And my podcast I'm on, I don't know, this one that I'm doing right now could be 40, 41, some odd. I have no idea, to be honest. And I could have settled for not doing it. I could have settled for, nobody's going to listen to my podcast. Why should I even try? Well, that would be settling for mediocrity at the lowest. And I'm going to continue to do this because it is going to get a following. It is getting a following. It is getting a listenership. It is expanding. And the things that I speak about on this podcast are helping people, are helping them to sort things out. That's my job. That is my passion. That is my zone of genius, is talking and presenting and speaking and inspiring and having fun. This is a lot of fun for me. And I like you guys to have fun with me. So when we talk about what are you settling for, if you're unhappy, chances are very good you're settling for something and it's not making you happy. When you settle, you're not getting what you feel you deserve, or you're not getting what you desire because you're settling for less than. So if you're settling for less than, why are you doing that to yourself? There's something that Tony Robbins says, we get what we, oh gosh, how did he put it exactly? It's like we get what we accept. People say, oh, you get what you deserve. I don't buy that. That just sounds bizarre. I mean, you can get what you deserve. Make yourself deserve more. Because a lot of people, when they say, oh, I don't deserve that. Well, why? Why? You're settling. You're settling for something. For example, when I when I do toasts, when we have drinks and everybody gets together and they cheers, skål, slanja, all that, and I do it and I go, may we all get what we deserve. Clink. And people are like, what the hell is that? I'm like, well, be the person who deserves more. Be the person who deserves wonderful things. Be the person who deserves it all. Because you can, you should, and why not? Because you're settling for something. It seems that most people, the biggest, and you've probably heard this in some of my other podcasts in various degrees, that like you are your biggest troll. You have so much baggage. You hold failure. You need to forgive yourself. We are sometimes our biggest detriment. We are the biggest problem in our life. And it works out because it's in your subconscious and you are not realizing what is holding you back. If you believe you can have everything, then why don't you go get it? If you believe you can be wealthy, then why aren't you going to get it? If you believe you can have love and wondrous friendships and really, really enjoy life, why are you not? Now, if you are, then obviously you got it down. You're good. You're solid. You don't need this podcast. So go do something else. Have fun. But if you're talking to yourself and saying, you know what, you're right. I have settled for a certain level in my life. I've settled for less than I do believe that I deserve. Then listen up. Let's talk about that. I want to point something out. A lot of the stories that we have in our life about our level, and I can talk to you about this from a very, very personal standpoint because my parents did a number on me, because their parents did a number on them. And I'll bet you most of your parents out there did a number on you. Why? Because most people are not successful. Vast, vast, vast majority of people never make any money, really. Most people do not succeed. Why? Well, because somebody has done a number on you somewhere in your past. For example, so I grew up, my father and mother, I guess you call them boomers, and their parents came through World War II. And so there was a lot of thrifting and saving and pinching pennies and being very, very scared. Fear mentality about money. It's a finite thing, and it's hard to come by. We're not made of money. Money doesn't grow on trees. It's difficult. You have to work hard, et cetera, et cetera. And yes, there's merit and value in some of that, but overall, it hampers you. It stops you from going out there and working on your own to make money. See, the whole idea of the industrial age was get a job. It was get a job or go to college so that you can get a job working for a corporation. Well, who starts corporations? Entrepreneurs, which is what our country was founded on. I'm talking about the US, of course. The country was founded on entrepreneurship. Everybody, they got land, or they farmed, or they had a service that they provided. They had their own little businesses. Everybody did. That's how we grew. And then in the industrial age, you got these big companies, and they were hiring people. And now people didn't have to go make their own stuff. They got paid to do a certain thing, day in, day out. And that mindset got seeped in to the American psyche. And it's everywhere in the world, because people are like, oh, I need to get a job. Well, why can't you go out and do something that you enjoy and love, and have that blossom and grow and become a successful enterprise? Because that was not put into you. Most people who do not have the entrepreneur gene or the entrepreneur idea think that same way. And there's a certain level that they're going to settle for. And that's where they think they can only go to the point of whatever their training is. So if you say, well, I want to have, $1 million, which seems to be the fallback for everybody. So I want $1 million, but you're only trained, and anybody that's trained in your level it's like, oh, I'm a law student, I'm a lawyer, and this rate, and this is usually what people get, $100,000, $200,000. That's it. And it's like, oh, well, then that's your level. That's what you settled for. And you're like, oh, well, I got to go get more training so I can go higher than that. You see how you're being stopped on the top end. You can only go so far because of whatever the training is, because of what other people have told you. What other people say, oh, this is your value. This is your value. This is your value. This is your plateau. This is your ceiling. This is as far as you can go right here, unless you do A, B, and C, and then go up higher and higher. Oh, that's crazy, because that is telling you can only do so much. That's other people telling you your worth. Well, what if you allowed yourself to really open up and do whatever you wanted to do, and follow your passion, follow your dream, and say, you know what? I am not settling for anything. I am going for the sky. I'm going for the moon. I'm whatever it is. And allow yourself to think in the bigger field, in the bigger realm. You're going to open up. You're going to open up to better ideas, and your subconscious has $1 million ideas for you all the time. But most people stifle them. They settle for their little bitty lot in life, and that's where they are. They stay there they get out of college, and they go there, and they stay there until they retire, and then they die. Woo, that's living. I have never felt that way. I've had plenty of, quote unquote failures, which I'm going to call lessons, because they are lessons learned. If you don't learn the lesson, then it is a failure. But I've learned a lot of lessons. And I've always moved forward on something else. Whether it's real estate investment, whether it's voiceover, whether it's writing books, whether it's speaking and creating things. I sold candy when I was a kid. I sold candy. I did the lemonade stands. I went and mowed lawns and washed cars and made money. I did it on my own. I didn't do it for anybody else. I don't like working for other human beings. And a lot of times, if you're settling for something, you're settling for a job that somebody else has given you. I'm not saying to quit your job, but I'm saying if you feel that you're settling and you're not happy with what you're doing, then there's something wrong. If you're not happy in what you're doing, there is something wrong. Understand that. And a lot of times there's something wrong because your heart, your desire is for something bigger, and it wants to explode out. It wants to grow. It wants to expand and step up. And now you're not. So what's going on? If you're not stepping up, if you're not growing, then you're settling for something. And that does not resonate with you. And that doesn't work. That's why you're feeling stifled or upset or anxious or something like that. So how do you get out of that? Well, there's several ways. One is to take action, make a decision, and say, I have had enough. You get what you're settled for. You get what you settle for. Say, I'm not settling for that anymore. It's like, I don't have any money. Well, you know what? I'm not settling for that anymore. Change your mindset. Become that person that has money. That takes work. Now, you listen to some of my other podcasts because absolutely, it's all up in there. In the podcast, you'll find so many tips, tricks, techniques, tools to get you to that next level and break through and start heading towards your dream, heading towards what you want to do. It's the decision that matters. Because once you realize what you've settled for, if you don't care, if you're fine, you're like, yeah, well, I'm okay with my lot in life, then again, this podcast is not for you. But if you're not happy with where you are, if you feel you have settled for something, then it's time to take action. You need to take action. There's nobody else that can do it for you. And it's not going to just fall out of the sky unless you get yourself aligned with what it is you want. Think about what your purpose is. There's a great metaphor or little story in The Science of Getting Rich. It's one of my favorite books. I always recommend it to everybody. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, I believe. And he talks about this child at the piano. And the child at the piano is sitting there and he's anxious. He's like, he's frustrated. And he says, well, why are you frustrated? He goes, the desire is in me. He's like, I know I want so badly to play this. That desire is there. He says, but my hands don't work yet. So what was that? Well, he had a desire. And the desire comes from the heart. And that heart is connected to your subconscious, which is infinite. That's that connection that we have. I know this may go get woo-woo, but this is all quantum physics, people. It's being proven day in, day out. We are connected. That's why you go into a room and something's weird and you know it. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. What is that? That's energy. That's field. That's feeling, vibration, frequency. We got all that. And that is infinite. Think about this. Have you ever had a second where you just thought about somebody? You're like, wow, I haven't thought about that person in years. And then they call you on the phone or you get a text from them or something like that. That's freaky. I know. That's what I'm talking about because we are all connected. They've also been done, I believe, I want to say it's the HeartMath Institute, but I could be wrong. But there have been research done that take a cell out of the heart. Take a cell and you take it outside of the heart and you would, zap the heart a little bit, just a little energy fluctuation and read it on the monitor. Well, that cell that was no longer part of that heart would zap exactly the same. And they took it further and further. And I think they went miles away and zapped the heart with a little electricity, nothing to hurt anybody, just bzz, bzz, and registered on the heart here. And it registered with that cell miles away. So you want to talk about connection? We're connected. Why am I telling you about this? Because if you're not paying attention to what your desires are, what your heart is telling you to do, you're settling. You're settling for something, and that is not making you happy. Now, people say, what about, it's not all about being happy. Well, sure. Okay, get it. I get it. There's timing. It's not like, I'm just going to go follow my bliss. Well, you got responsibilities and you got to pay your bills. Okay, fine. But start heading towards that road. Start heading towards whatever it is that you want that makes you happy, that makes you like fulfilled, that gets into your heart and goes, oh man, that's exciting. I like that. And I know a lot of people that listen to this, they're like, oh, I want to play video games. Well, okay, are you good at it? Or is it just you like to play video games? Well, how do you, if you really like that, then how do you make that a business? How do you do it? Do you become one of the best video game players in the world and make a ton of money? Great, that's cool if you're that good. What if you're not? What do? You brainstorm and figure out, okay, well, maybe I can start a business that I could buy video game components and chairs and microphones and all that kind of stuff at a certain price and sell it on my site for a little bit more. Duh, it's business. Who knows? You could do a podcast and interview all these great people that do video games, that play video games. I don't know, something. But if that's what your jam is, then awesome. Then do it. Follow that. Figure it out. Think about it, because you're settling right now for where you are. And if that's what you're doing, you're never going to go higher. Like water finds its level. That's it. The only way to get the water higher is to add more water. Move it up or confine that space and push it up. The point is, you got to do something. You have to do something. So let me ask you, what is your ceiling? Where is there something in your life, and maybe even your relationships? Maybe you've been like, wow, I hope you're not thinking this, like, wow, I really settled for my wife. Oh boy. Okay. That's a problem. But it's also an opportunity, because you can both rise up. That's the beautiful part of it. But if you've been dating and you're like, wow, I'm not really happy with the people I've been dating. Well, how do you break that ceiling? You have to become the person who exists above that ceiling. Whatever it is you do, whatever it is you want, you've got to break through by becoming the person that gets it. I've used this many times. I said, look, people always want the trophy. So I want the first place trophy. And when I get that first place trophy, then I'll become that person. No, that's not how it works. You become that person. You work and 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 you work. You are the essence of that person. You become that person who deserves that trophy. And then guess what? You get the trophy. You got to become first. You don't get the trophy to prove that you're worth that and then become that. You only get the trophy because you are actually worth that. And that's the point. Work on becoming who you can be now. Don't settle for whatever it is right now. If you're sitting there, look at yourself right now in a mirror and say, yeah, I'm happy with this. If you're not happy with that, then you have settled. Then it's time to make that decision. Make that decision that you're going to change that. What are you settling for? Not this. I'm going this. This is where I'm going. How do I do that? Well, work backwards. Let's say wherever you are right now and you want something big. You want something big. Let's say you want something, let's go out like the $1 million, right? Well, how much is $1 million? That's 8,000. I'm sorry, that's 83. That's 83. I believe it's $83,000 a month. That's what it is. Okay. If you want $1 million in 1 year, that's what it is. Well, then how do you do that? Okay. Well, that breaks down to what? 20 some odd thousand a week. Okay. How much a day? Break it down and figure, okay, well, that's what I need. And these are big numbers. And you're like, whoa, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Okay, well, figure it out. Somebody else has. Somebody else has done that. Or, don't start that high. If you want to break free from where you are, if you're at $30,000 a year, don't go for $1 million next year, because that ain't going to happen. Sorry. Go for something that's realistic. Like $30,000. I'd like to make 50, or 40. How do I do that? Well, that's probably not that hard. How do you add value? How do you change? How do you become a person who's like, wow, I feel better. I feel more like I'm making, 40,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever it is. It doesn't matter where you are. The point is, think about going further, and you have to become that person. Well, if where you are is settling for certain things, well, you got to change that. You don't settle for that anymore. You shift your way of thinking, and you buy better things, you eat better food, you work out, you get up, you do things, whatever it is. What does somebody who has what you want, what do they do? What do they do? Then do that. That's it. Find somebody, and I get you. I'll tell you right now, there are books on everything, how to do everything. As a matter of fact, I have one called Food Game, A Man's Ultimate Recipe for Dating Success, available on Amazon now. And that is how I dated a lot, and how I found my amazing wife. That's exactly how I did it. That book is exactly how I became the person I am, became the person who deserved the things that I wanted on that level. And believe me, my wife is a high level. She is phenomenal and amazing, and I do deserve her. And I work with her every day. And we work with each other and for each other. We don't settle. We push each other and lift each other up. That's what I'm talking about. Other people's opinions of you are probably keeping you down over the most part, I would say. Most people suffer from that. That's why their self-esteem gets bashed. That's why they say, oh, I can't do that because, what will somebody think of me? What if it doesn't work the way I want it to? What if? Well, how about we shift that and say, what if everything goes exactly as you want it to go? What if? Why not think about the dangers of succeeding rather than the 9,000 things that can go wrong? Well, think about the 9,000 ways it can go right. Focus on that. And that way you have something to strive for. Because if you say, well, I'm going to settle for where I am, it's probably because it's safe. Because fear is a fear of failure. Fear is painful. Because there's a fear, if you go do something, it might hurt. It might not work out. So it's safer to stay where you are. That's settle. You're right here. Well, I'm already there. I'm already here. So this is as good and bad as it gets right now. But if I step out of my comfort zone and I don't settle for this, then I might not make it. Yes, but you might. You might make it. You got to try. If you don't try, you have a 100% chance of failing. And this is why I tell people in dating, guys, when a guy goes over and talks to a woman, if he doesn't say anything, then he's got a 100% chance of nothing happening. 100% chance of failure. That's easy. It's also safe. But if he puts himself out there and walks over and talks to this girl, oh my gosh, he has a chance of failure. Yes, he does. He also now has a chance of success. And that's the key. I think what's interesting is that if the failure actually hurts, it actually activates the same parts of the brain as physical pain. So if it doesn't work, if there's that failure, a guy walks over to a woman and says something and she says, get out of here, rah, 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 whatever, then it hurts. It does. It hurts pride. It's wounding. It sucks. But there are ways around that. And that's becoming the person who doesn't give a crap. It's like, hey, when you know the game, when you see the matrix, when you see how it all works together, you go, okay, cool. How you doing? Bah. No? Great. Fine. Hey, how you doing? Boom, boom. Great. Go over there, go over there, go over there, go over there. Doesn't matter. Because you're not settling for that. You're going higher and higher and higher. It's like if you've ever been in a plane and you're flying and you see usually the pilot never tells you. Well, I've flown with a pilot who was sitting next to me and he was explaining all this to me and made sense. I was like, oh my gosh, I get it now. So he said, look, if you're in a plane and you suddenly feel the plane start to go up and you can look out of the window and you can see there's a line of clouds that you're about to go through. Well, there's a different airstream and there's going to be some turbulence. Well, you know that because you can see it. And then you go through it, you boom, 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 boom. Oh, and other people who did not know that are like, oh my God, what's happening? It's like, it's an airplane, it's air, it's turbulence, it's clouds, it happens. But they don't understand that. Well, that's what happens when you go to another level of, so if you're settling for something now and you want to go to a next level, there's going to be bumps. Welcome the bumps. Say, yay, because on the other side of those bumps is smoother air and a new plateau for you. Other people's opinions do not matter. Your opinions do. So it's time to work on good opinions of yourself. Listen to some of my old podcasts I've got about how to forgive yourself and how to talk to yourself better. I mean, so many different podcasts that will help you with this stuff, that will help you get clear, understand how your mind works. My main point that I'm going to leave you guys with here is ask yourself, what are you settling for? And why? Who says you have to settle for this? Whatever this is. You want more. If that desire in your heart is telling you you want more, and you feel it, and you know it, and you're not happy where you are right now, then you are settling. And it's time to get out of that. So make a decision to start looking. Say, all right, I'm going to get out of this. This settling is not happening. I'm going to listen to my heart. I'm going to follow some desires, and I'm going to step out. There's going to be some turbulence. That's okay. But I'm not settling anymore. And I'm going to leave you with that today. Thank you so much for listening to the Mind Scrambler podcast. Check them all out. Leave me some great 5-star ratings and reviews. I would appreciate that immensely. And you go out, have a fantastic day, and enjoy those bumps because it means you're getting better. See you next time. Bye-bye. All right, that's it. Guys, that is meinen Podcasten today. I'm going to call this one, What Are You Settling For? You bastards. All right. You bastard. So where was I? All right, let me see what's happening over here. I couldn't chat with you guys. Let's see. Look out for kangaroos. Last you before be thankful. Thanks, Crazy America. Cheers. Quinn, you're kind of going down a rabbit hole there. ABCs. That's what Decky sings that. Happy. Think same way. To be go dating, have sex, and gets married. Please God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Quinn, I don't know where you are, so obviously the language is a little different. But here's the thing: I would say, Quinn, if you don't have my book, Food Game: A Man's Ultimate Recipe for Dating Success, get it right now on Amazon. Go. It's awesome. You wanna do all of that right there? I can show you. Believe me, I share it with you. And it works. Boy, does it work. I know it. It sure do. So, great. Thanks, Luigi. I'm glad you liked the podcast. Like I said, divine download. I'm like, I don't know. Let's just talk about it. Let's have a chat. Seriously, guys, if you're on here and you don't have my book, I mean, what the hell? Get it. Go get it. Get it. As soon as possible, man, because it is good stuff. As a matter of fact, let me see. Hold on. I think I might just have. There you go. Boom. There's a link for you right there. So yeah, and of course the other podcasts will help you immensely because it really all comes down to becoming that person. And I'm in the process of doing that. Things are happening for me like manifesting Australia, guys. We manifested this. We made a decision, but we were here. In order to make that decision, we had to be here. It wasn't like, hey, you know what? We're just going to up and go to Australia. No, we were here. And it was the way it happened. It's phenomenal. I'm sure I've talked to you guys about this, how it happened, because I was doing a lot of work, a lot of meditation and subconscious work, and really getting a feel for what I wanted. And it out of the blue, invite. Out of the blue, boom, we're over here. Bam, out of the blue, best con ever. Boom, amazing. 2 in a row, pow, pow. I was like, damn, great. And it was even way down in attendance, and I still did fantastic. So it's like, wow, all right, that happened. And then I'm like here, and we're manifesting exactly what we want. I started my membership group. My podcast has been going. I'm doing a master class. I'm coaching. I've had coaching clients, and it's great. I mean, there's so many wonderful things that have happened, and it's because of the work that we're doing. Like I said, a big thing just got off my back. Huge thing just got off my back. Literally Friday. And so I'm very, very happy about that. And now some of the tentacles at the end are still here, and we're working those out. But the big part is done. And we're just, yes, thank you, God. So we have some freedom. And now our next big manifestation is our new apartment here that we're going to rent. And then I'm going to do some training in, next year and become a student. And we're going to stay here for a while. And I'm good with that because part of that training is going to lead towards something that I've wanted to do for a while. You guys have heard don't kill your date and other cooking tips. Well, I think there's a reason why I'm doing where we are and what I'm doing. It's like, you know what? Here's what's going to happen. I am going to go ahead and do my show that I've always wanted to do. And maybe that's exactly what needed to happen. Maybe I'll get a huge following in Australia. I'll become an Australian star. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know it's going to be for the highest and best good. And I'm becoming the person who will attract these things. You know, it's interesting. And this is, I should probably put this in the podcast, but if you look, it's the concept of attraction is interesting because even in the Bible, it says, and I'm paraphrasing, guys, so I'm not Churchy McChurcherson, but it says, to him that hath, more shall be given. For him that lacks, more shall be taken away. And what that means is it really is about the concept of becoming. When you are attracting the right things, it's more is attracted to you. When you're repelling things and you're in lack and fear and sadness and anger and all the negative stuff, and you're constantly negative and saying bad things, well, more will be taken away. That's why the 1% is the 1%, because they got it. They understand. You could take everything away from them, and in months to a year, they would all have it all back because they know how to do it. It's not about whether they're good or bad people. That's different. But it's the concept, and it's not evil. There's nothing evil about it. Some people do evil things, certainly. Believe me. And that's usually because of government, but don't get me started on that. My reference to new revival of Saved by the Bell on Peacock. Gwen, I have no idea what the hell that's about. Never saw Save the Bell, never cared. I'm much older than that. But anyway, so that's my point, guys. Just keep at it. Keep focusing on the good. And here's something, here's a good money mindset. That it was so funny. I was at the store and I paid and I paid with some cash. And it used to be, I would have this hurt in my heart, tightness in my chest when I would go shopping because I was like, God, I got to spend this money. But I'm just like, God, how much am I going to get it back? There's always this lack, this fear. And I have to work because that is so ingrained in me. It's like, I want that, but this is cheaper and I'm going to get that. And if that's better quality and I want that better quality, I'm going to buy the freaking thing because it's good. It's better. And I used to not do that because I'm like, I just don't have enough money and I'll save this and it'll be fine. So now what I've done is every time I go shopping, I get excited at the end about what I paid. I'm like, yes, I had that money to buy this stuff and I'm going to do so many great things with this food. It's going to be so awesome. Thank you, universe, more, please. Thank you, universe, more, please. There's a way of being, a way of feeling. Hello, After Death Vision. Good to see you. And by feeling that way, it opens the door for more. And like I found Quinn, I know what Saved by the Bell is. I don't care. Thank you, but I don't care about Saved by the Bell. But I looked down and there was like a nickel. I was like, cool, a nickel. And a lot of people are like, nickel, so what? But it doesn't matter about the amount. I looked at the nickel, I was like, thank you, universe. Thank you. That is more. That is free money. If you get a little and you're grateful for it, you'll get more. If you get a little and you're like, I don't care, more will be taken away. Think of it in the dating world. If you're like, I need money so bad. Like, I need women so bad. Well, what are you coming across as? Desperate, lacking, insecure, and pretty pathetic. Is that attractive? No. Same thing in the money world. I'm going to do a whole podcast on this. The same thing with money. It's the same idea. And you're like, cool, man, this is awesome. Thanks. That's like awesome. Because just a girl looks at you and says hi. And you go, hi, how you doing? Great. She goes, that was awesome. That was so nice. That was cool. It's a good, positive feeling. Whereas some people will be like, oh, she's looking at me. Oh, good. That's not attractive. Same thing with money. So then later on, I found a 20-cent piece. And I was like, thank you. That's awesome. That is so cool. That was 4 times the amount that I had already found. I found a nickel and then 20 cents. 4 times. That's 400% more out of nowhere. It's free. The universe doesn't matter. It doesn't matter on the amounts. If you get 5 cents, it could be the same as getting $1 million out of nowhere. Prove that you're grateful for the small things, and the big things will come easier. That's how you become that person, goes up over the next level. Anyway, that's a lot of good stuff for you. So you might show Showgirls or Armitage 3 Poly Matrix anime. I don't know what you're saying, Quinn. I appreciate it, but you kind of lost me there. So listen, guys, my time is up pretty much. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I've got some things to do, and I'm so glad you guys are here, all of you guys. If you have not at this point in time, please go over. I'm going to give you a link right now. Pop on over to my website and sign up for my email list so you'll know what's going on, what's coming up, and I will let you know all the good stuff that's happening. So I got a lot of things coming up. Like I said, on the 16th, I've got my my masterclass, How to Save Your Marriage During a Pandemic. If you are on my email list, you'll get all of the info on that. I'm going to start the sign up here very soon, and we're going to keep on moving. So have a wonderful day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you next time.